Guys, welcome back to the channel. This is ASAS Pixel Studio. It's another retouching tutorial. So in this video I'm going to be showing you the 5 basic steps every retoucher should know as a beginner. Let's get started. Well, the first step I would like to show you is to get the right color profile, and you can use the white balance tool or you can use this technique I'm about to show you. So for us to do that, you rather go to camera raw filter and go to camera raw filter. You go to filter, camera raw filter, and use the white balance tool, or probably grab the solid color adjustment, pick any color, turn it off, and double click on the color picker, and this place select what you feel should be white, in this case the eye. So I'm just going to select that color, and you can see the color that's selected over here. You can take it up a little bit because if you're going to do the next step, it's going to look blown out. So once you take that step, take it up, turn it back on. Now this is going to affect the old image. Change the blending mode to divide, and you're going to have it like this. So we have from this to this. It just gives you the right exposure, the right brightness, and although you can take it all the way up if you don't want it like that, you can also choose the saturation if you want to maintain the skin color. Though the higher you go, the more you lose the saturation. When you go below, you maintain the color that was in the picture before. So I can go back to the brightness, and then I can take it up, and the more you take it down, the more the photo becomes bright and having a good exposure. The hue doesn't matter, it just changes the way the it affects the photo, so I'm not going to touch that, just the saturation and brightness. Although you can clip a hue and saturation layer on top of it, you can just clip it on the layer below, and then you can mess around with the saturation and also the brightness, as you can see. So which other way, if you don't want to use the brightness inside the color, you can use this one. So I'm just going to delete that. I'm okay with the first one. Now the next thing you should know about is color correction. After getting the right color profile, you should know about color correction. So now color correction, I'm going to use the hue and saturation adjustment layer, and for that one I'm just going to pick any color, the sample of the color I want to correct. You can see the skin. Let me zoom in. Some places are white, some places are saturated, some are not. So let's see, you can see the down part of our mouth. I'm just going to select that color because I want to correct that color. Now once you take it all the way up, you're going to see the color difference. Some places are blue, some places are light green, some places are very dark yellow and brown. So we're focusing on the skin. I'm going to leave the hair out. Now we're going to correct 3 colors here. Let's first of all focus on the hue of the red layer. I want this part of our mouth to look like the green part. So I'm going to bring it, leave it there, and then I'm going to take this slider and move it. Let's take it backwards till we have that place selected. So let's go. Okay, so we have this one selected. Whether we turn everything back, let's turn it off and on. So either you do it like that, or you select the other way around, so like this. Yeah, so let's zoom in and you can see the places that are selected. So either you make that selection. Let's take it up a little bit and make the selection. So I'm just gonna quickly make the selection of that. Okay, so now you're gonna make the hue 0. So let's make the hue 0, and then we're gonna remove it. Let's remove. Taking it forward, we make it look more yellow. Taking it backward, we make it look reddish. So you can see the difference. Now we have before and then after. So we just change the hue of the image. So before it was very yellow, you can see how yellow it is, and now it's taking the red shape like the color. But that's not the end. Some places are dark, some places are lighter. So we can as well fix that. Okay, so if you want to do the other way around, I can turn this one off and select the hue and saturation again, and then let's say we want the rest part of our face to look like the color below. So you just need to reset. Let's reset. Select the hand, the sampler tool. Let's select the mouth again, and then take this all the way up, and now bring it backwards till we have the rest part of our face selected. So like this. Let's take it forward a little bit. Okay, so now I want this green part selected to look like the mouth, the parts that are not selected. So what we need to do is to make this 0 and then take it to the front. So once you take it to the front, you can see that it's even affecting the lips. The color here must not affect, must not be more than 30 or less than -30. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like this. So we have to either this one or this one, but I prefer using this one. If you want to leave it like this, then you are going to mask out the mouth, and let's see how it is from far. So now then this, so I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to delete it. Now we are not through with the color correction. We need to make this place that are not saturated like the top part of our forehead. So for that, I'm going to grab new hue and saturation again, and this time around I'm going to select the mask, go to select and color range. So let's select the places that are less saturated, somewhere like this. I'm going to hold down shift and select more places that are less saturated like that, and keep on selecting till you have the selection made, a forehead and mostly this side. So now that we have that, we can increase the fuzziness a bit to select more side, and it's okay. It's going to make a selection on the hue and saturation adjustment layer, and this time around you can mess around with the saturation. So just look at the little saturation I added, just affected the image. Look at before and look at after. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to turn it back up and look at before and look at after. So we have some saturation to play with. You can still go back inside and just increase the saturation a little bit more, and probably maintain the hue, the lightness rather, by taking it backwards like -2, so it just fits in with the top part. So we have it like this, and I'm going to close it, and we have our image, which is before and after. Okay, so we are almost there. So now that we have color correction, you can mask it out from the eyes, from the hair, if you don't want it to affect the hair. For that, I'm going to just group these two together and then create a mask and grab the brush tool, and I'm going to paint over it with the foreground color black, and I'm just going to erase it from the hair like this to have the color, because we just want to affect the skin only. So we have our yellow hair back, and this one, and this should be good. I guess this is now okay. So once you've done that, we are good to go with the rest part of the editing. Alright, so now, but this is easier in Capture One. If you use Capture One a lot, you can actually blend skin tones easily with Capture One. So let's see what we have so far. So far we have from this and to this. Okay, so brighten up image. The next thing we are actually going to do is to work on the skin tones and the skin texture, and for that we're going to use the frequency separation. So that is another the third step. You are to go ahead, so make sure you do your white balance. After your white balance, do your color correction, and then you go ahead with the frequency separation. So for you to do frequency separation, if you don't have a visible or a stamp visible layer, you can create a stamp visible layer by pressing Ctrl Shift Alternate E, which is a shortcut, and you're going to get a stamp visible layer. You're going to duplicate it twice and name this, rename this to skin tones, SKINTONE, and name this to texture, skin texture. So this is where you do your frequency separation, working on the blending of the skin and the rest part. So turn off the skin texture, select the skin tones, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and now you're going to blur it. And how do you get the right blur? It's very easy. Select somewhere around here, you can see, until you have a smooth transition between that side. I'm going to select this place, which is the forehead, and now I'm going to just dial it in till I have a very good transition. So like let's go up a little bit. So I guess this is okay, 3 is okay for me. And now I'm going to select the skin texture and turn it on, and go to image, apply image, and now from merge, change the merge, change it to skin tones, and you're going to change the blending mode to subtract. Make sure scale to offset 128, it's okay. You're now going to change the blending mode. Now you have the texture, but you need to change the blending mode to linear light, and then you're back with your image. I'm going to group the two together, and you can name it frequency separation, and hit enter. I'm going to open it up. For this skin texture, you're going to use the clone stamp tool. For the skin tones, you're going to use the mixer tool brush. So let's start with the mixer tool brush and take the settings above. Make sure sample all layer is checked off, and make sure this is selected, and make sure this is empty by selecting clean brush. And you can change the rest as you wish, but the width should be between 9 and 14, and then you are good to go. So I'm going to quickly blend this. Let's say you want to remove this texture, these pimples over here. You can just select the skin tones, select the clone stamp tool, hold and hot, and select an area, and then just place it on it. You can even drag, and sometimes I usually turn off the align so I can easily flow. So I can just select this place and cover these places like this, and so on and so forth. Those places looking bent. All right, so let's blend. I'm going to select the skin tone, select the mixer tool brush, and I'm going to blend the skin. Alright, so I'm gonna stop here. You already know what to do. You can take your time and keep on editing and fixing. For this one, I'm just gonna look closely where I've not actually fixed with the clone stamp tool. Probably you can remove the air even with the clone stamp tool. Just open up the frequency separation box, select the skin texture. You can hold an alt and just remove this air that are all over the place, and I believe that should fix it. Every plugin uses this one. If you have more air strand, more like this, you can quickly just touch it around, and that should be good. Okay, so for this one as well, you can still do the same, but I'm just going to leave it like this because there are some plugins you also need to use when doing this type of retouching. A lot of people use plugins and you just quickly do the work for you. All right, so apart from that, now we need to fix other things. So we have 1, 2, 3. Now the fourth step should be dodging and burning. So dodging and burning is emphasizing the highlight and emphasizing the shadows. So for that, I'm just going to use the curve, but before that, let's actually use this hue and saturation layer to check if all the skin tones are actually equal. So we should have one color if all the skin tones are equal. So let's select this side and then take it all the way up. So you can see now that we are almost there having one color, but you can see some blues and you can see some green. So for that, we're just going to select the places that we need to select. Let's try and select the blue part. So this will select the green part for us. Let's select the other parts that have fault, so something like this. And now what we just need to do, let's make this 0, and we're just going to increase it forward to blend it even more like this. So it must not be more than 30, like I say. Let's grab the normal brush tool and erase it from the lips. So I'm just going to grab this and make sure the foreground color is black and erase it from the lips. Let's see if we have some makeup on. So you can introduce some blushing if you want, like that, and probably some colors in the eyes to make it very realistic. All right, so another thing I would like to do, I would like to remove this yellow color, the yellow. So just grab the hue and saturation, and I want to decrease the saturation of that side. So I'm just going to grab the hand tool and select that side. All right, so we can actually bring it up and also select, but if that doesn't work, we can just decrease it from our hands like this, and that should do. Or we can just probably select yellow and decrease the yellows in the image. So we have that. Now that we have that, you can see the difference before and after. A very real one. I'm going to go back inside and go back to the red and take it up a little bit, so we have it like this. All right, so based on still color correction we just did, which should be before the frequency separation, but unfortunately we did it here. Now let's do dodging and burning. So grab your curve tool and then take it all the way up a little bit like this to brighten up. And I'm just gonna, in fact, the mask, Ctrl I, grab the brush tool, and we're going to emphasize the highlight somewhere like this. Just click, make sure the foreground color is black white, click on it and hold down shift and click on this place. It's going to drag it out. Click on it, sorry, Ctrl Z, click here, hold down shift, click to this place here, click to this place like this and click to this place. I'm also going to do the same here, one, click and click. All right, so just some, you can just draw and draw and draw and make it very small. Yeah, 1 and 2. Okay, so let's go up. I can see one here. I can just draw an X there and probably draw 1, 2, 3. So I'm emphasizing the highlight, and probably this somewhere like this. All right, so I'm going to emphasize this place, emphasize this place, emphasize this place. Now let's grab another curve, and you're going to darken everything like this, take it downwards, so like that. And now invert the mask, Ctrl I, and you can just probably drag it and click 1, it and click 2, make this place thin, make this place thin, and let's emphasize the edge. All right, so like this, I'm gonna take it below, take this, and take this. All right, so now that we have that, you can even go inside very well and just take it up a little bit to make it look more brighter like that. And we can emphasize this one too and make it more darker like this, so all the way you want. Now all we just need to do, go inside the mask, select this one, this mask, and feather it out. So take it up till you have a very good smooth transition between the image. So sometimes people leave it very obvious, but I won't leave it like that. I will leave it something like this. So it's very good for you to take it out, turn it off and on, but it's not going to work that way. Let's go ahead, note 25. I'm going to do this one to somewhere like this till we have something like this, 40. So let's see before and after. Okay, so that's good, before and after. So this is also good as well. All right, so I'm still just going to go ahead, go inside and go to the curve, select this one and just make it very good. All right, so we can see before and after emphasized. All right, so that's dodging and burning. You can make it very slow, very tiny. Sorry, I'm just gonna go back inside. I think I want it very visible, so I'm just gonna bring it backwards like that and remove it from the places that I don't need it. So let's make it bigger. I'm gonna remove it from this cheekbone, it's X, and I'm gonna remove it from this place. All right, so I guess that's okay. Remove it from this place and this side, and probably the head as well. No, let's leave it that one, and we can remove it from this side. All right, so now it's looking good to me. I'm also going to remove it from this side. All right, so now after that, you can now do some little color grading, which is going to make the image look awesome. So that will affect the background. That's if you want to do it. But now we can go ahead and create a stand visible layer, Ctrl Shift Alternate E to create a stand visible layer. I'm just going to group all these together. So we are at the last step. Group all this, and now from here to here. And next thing we're going to do is to go to filter, camera raw filter. Let's select this one, filter, camera raw filter, which is the last finishing stage you have to do. So this stage includes emphasizing the highlights, color grading, and the rest of. So let's use the basic. There are other steps like changing the high color, making it whiter, emphasizing the lips. So but let's just use the eyeball tool and grab another high balance. So you can see I just use the white balance, the real white balance tool again. So this is just the finishing step, and I'm just going to take it up to emphasize more on the image, the highlights, and we can bring the shadows down a bit, bring the shadows and the blacks down to get more. I'm going to increase the texture to get more texture, and we can go ahead with the vibrance, give it a little bit vibrance, and that should be okay. Let's open up the curve and give it some X curve. So increase the highlight, decrease the shadows, decrease the dark, and increase this one. so you're going to have image like this, and it's going to look more sharper. So let's just take it downwards a little bit like that. Okay, so no, like that, like this. I'm going to close the curve and go to where we need to focus more on, which is this one, and we're going to change the hue of the orange, make it look red. You can see it affecting the lips, so this is how it is before. Take it towards the red and emphasize the color of the lips. For this one, we can take it forward and make it look like this. We'll take it backward and make it look reddish. So I'm just going to reset it and give it a little bit of red. Let's make sure it's the same with before, so we don't have to make it look more red. We're going to take this one backwards and we can just leave the rest. Go to the saturation, increase the red of the saturation, which is our lips. You can even take it more further and increase the saturation of the orange. We kind of decrease it before, but decreasing it to make it look like that. So let's increase it a little bit and probably decrease the yellow saturation of the yellow and towards that side, so we can see before and then the after. All right, so after that we can do some of the color grading. Go to the color grade, and for the shadows I'm going to add opposite as a complementary for the skin tones, which is this red side. I'm going to take it backwards towards the teal green like that, and we can bring it downwards, or we can take it upwards to make it a little bit. So let's just take it downwards a little bit. And for this one we can use the for this is the highlight, right? Yes, we can add some skin tones color to it and probably make it this color, and that's for that. You can also use this one, but I guess this affects a lot. We can add some tone, some color for let's add some yellows and probably take it downwards and make it look cooler, or take it upwards and make it look more brighter. So something like this. Let's turn it off and on, so we have a very good color grading with a touch of green. So that's that. You can reset it, you can leave it if you want. So let's do it before, and let's turn it off, and let's turn it after. So that's with a touch of color grading, and that's that. For calibration, you can use this one. Take it forward, it's going to look more reddish, and take the blue primary backwards, and you're going to have a little bit of fine tuning. So before and after. Let's click OK to get our image the way it is. Okay, so you can see before and after.